We are 1 week away from the second Fanatics Fest ever, and this year it is going to be wild. Fanatics is promising it will be bigger and better than last year with so many improvements and enhancements and an incredible array of athletes and media personalities and different events combined with a top-notch collector experience and card show. Are they going to be ready to deliver? And do you want to know all of the details of everything that's going to go on? Well, this is the show for you, because in just a minute, we're going to bring on the CEO of Fanatics Events, Lance Fensterman, and he is going to walk us through everything that is about to happen in Fanatics Fest, New York City, next Friday through Sunday, June 20th through 22nd. So to get ready for the event, or simply to hear about the going-ons, you're going to get all of those details right now. Let's welcome Lance to the Geoff Wilson Show. The Geoff Wilson Show is brought to you by Arena Club, the official home of slab packs. Now available every day, slab packs offer an exciting way to collect graded cards with confidence. Plus, every pack comes with an instant offer to buy your slab. Don't miss out. Explore the latest slab packs and more by downloading the Arena Club app. Just search Arena Club in your app store and use promo code SCI20 for 20% off your first purchase. All right, Lance, we are 1 week out. I know there must be all kinds of last minute stuff going on, so I am pleased to have you join me today. I really appreciate it. For those who don't, maybe they didn't get a Fanatics Fest last year, how would you describe what Fanatics Fest is?
Yeah, it is a immersive sports festival. So essentially anything that you love about sports and collecting, culture and entertainment, it is there. It's hands-on. It's athletes, it's celebrities, it's leagues, it's teams, it's cards, it's collectibles, it's content. It's basically everything you love about sports and culture in one place.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Last year, obviously, was the first time you ever attempted it. It was the first Fanatics Fest of all time. It brought a lot of attention. A lot of people, were excited to see it. A lot of feedback, I'm sure, afterwards. As you look to this year's Fanatics Fest, what is going to be different than what people experienced last year?
I think our stress level will be down just slightly. Not a lot, but just slightly, because now at least we know it's possible and we pulled it off. This year is going to be, it's more. It's literally just more. There's going to be more leagues represented. We've got FIFA and EPL, U.S. Tennis Association. We've got more brands. Nike's going to be there, in addition to another surprise that we'll announce soon. More athletes. I think we've got 50% more athletes, more space. The whole building will be ours. We're spreading out much more signings and autographs, more panels and podcasts. I think last year we had 20 or so panels and a few podcasts. We've got 100 plus podcasts that are going to be recording live. We've got 30-ish panels. We'll have more memorabilia. We just announced we were calling it our memorabilia museum. It's now the Museum of Greatness. So meet me at MOG, if you will. It's $200 million plus of memorabilia. We've got more exclusives and collabs in terms of merch. It's just like we took what was successful and just multiplied it and invested more and brought more. So if I sound exhausted, it's because I am just a little bit, but it's going to be epic when we open the doors.
More sounds exciting. Last year was a great start to the event for sure. Thanks. And so more sounds exciting. For obviously a lot of our audience who watches this show are collectors. In terms of the collecting and card show experience specifically, how will that be different, if at all, from last year?
I left that out on my list of more. That was a little embarrassing considering your audience. Apologies. Last year we had about 185 dealers with 200 plus tables in all. This year we'll have about 230 dealers and about 250 tables or booths in all. So we've grown that pretty significantly. Exclusive cards, Topps is going to be doing 3 different drops, 3 different card drops that are exclusives. We've also got more sort of integration, if you will. So if you recall last year, we had all the leagues and teams, and then we had all of the dealers. And it felt a little like 2 separate shows, which is not at all what we were going for. We really want the hobby integrated into everything we're doing. So we've changed that, where we've got the leagues and the teams and the brands kind of all around the perimeter and then all through the middle, hobby brands and the dealers, anchored by a really cool breaking stage that Live is building that's going to be fairly awesome, that we're going to have programming on constantly, that I think is going to bring a lot of energy to that space. So we feel like we've increased the quantity, we've kept the high quality, we've integrated the hobby really throughout the entire show. We feel like it'll be a more seamless experience for fans, and most importantly, we hope allow lapsed fans, casual fans, and sort of non-collectors to find the hobby and perhaps jump back into the hobby or into the hobby for the first time. That's really important to us. So
yeah, and we saw some of that last year for sure. I think the better integration of the dealer booths within the overall show is probably going to make that even more so. So certainly looking forward to that. I will be on that breaking stage that you mentioned for Fanatics Live. I'm going to be breaking live for Cards HQ on Fanatics Live for a couple hours on that breaking stage. And Cards HQ will also, by the way, have dealer tables set up there as well. So we are certainly looking forward to being part of that.
Appreciate your support. And again, I think you'll find what we're trying to build here is just such a different show, right? There are so many amazing card shows out there, and they serve the community so well. We're not trying to be another card show, right? We're trying to be something much different and much broader that also has an amazing card show as a part of it. And I think ideally that brings a different sort of collector or potential collector to meet Cards HQ and to meet all the other great dealers that are there.
For sure. The exclusive drops. So last year, I think you did 1 or 2. This year, you've got, from what I recall, you got an F1 exclusive drop. You've got a special edition of Topps that's going to be dropping with the big league inserts or the big city inserts, the big Apple inserts. And then you've also got, recently, I think you announced another Travis Scott set. So there's a lot of kind of juice behind these exclusive releases. Tell me about that.
We want to give people experiences that they can't get anywhere else, right? And sometimes that's sitting in an audience and seeing an athlete and an entertainer talk about something they'd never heard before and tell a story they'd never heard. Sometimes it's buying that exclusive product that you can't get anywhere else, whether it's a piece of clothing, a pair of shoes, or cards and collectibles. And so we really feel like the power of live events is getting people in the door to see, do, hear, own something that you can't get anywhere else. And exclusives, especially to the hobby, are so important. And it's pretty handy when your cousins in your organization are Topps that can help make that happen. So
yeah, for sure. And I know this isn't necessarily the goal of it, but last year there was a lot of fervor about those releases on the secondary market. There were a lot of people who I saw at the show that were making really good money by standing in line and getting the exclusive release and then flipping it, whether it was online or to a dealer at the show. There was a lot of excitement around that. The Travis Scott release last year in particular, those cards continued to do big money in the secondary market. People loved that release, so I'm glad you guys are doing it again.
Are you telling me there's a monetary element to collecting? I thought it was entirely about the love of collecting. Maybe it is, and then it's even better if there's a monetary element too. So,
yeah, that's how we think of it here at Sports Card Investor for sure. We say invest in what you love, right? The love comes first, but the investment element is certainly there as well. This is all certainly very exciting to hear about from a athlete standpoint. I know you're doing even more athletes this year. That was part of the more list last year because of the timing of it being in August. There wasn't the opportunity to get much in the way of football representation. I believe you got a lot more kind of football NFL representation there this year. Is that right?
Totally. And we've got, I think, 300 plus athletes at this point. So I'm using my seat list over here in case I forget anybody. But yeah, moving from August to June, the goal was we wanted to bring in current NFL players and current football players, international soccer. And we've done really well on the football side. Like classics like the Manning brothers, of course, and Brady, but then current players like Jaden Daniels and Joe Burrow and Jackson Dart and go down the list. C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young. I mean, there's so many. Greatest receiver in the NFL currently happens to play for a Minnesota team. Justin Jefferson will be there. Not that I'm from Minnesota or anything and biased, but an amazing lineup. Then with current football, international soccer players was a little bit tougher. The Club World Cup is happening at the exact same time as Fanatics Fest around the U.S. And so it made access to some of those football players, international soccer players, a little bit tougher. But we don't give up. So we'll make sure we get them then for future years. And we've got teams from Juventus and PSG, and we've got leagues and FIFA and EPL. So we've got a ton of great international football. We just want to get those current players, and we'll keep chasing those.
For sure. So if somebody's listening to this thinking about attending, the event is all day Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. What advice would you give them? Let's say maybe they can't attend the entire thing, because I'm sure your first advice would be be there morning to night, all 3 days. But if they can only go for part of it, where do you think they should maybe focus their time? What's that selection process like, looking at the different activities over the 3 different days?
Totally. I think there's like a lot of interesting layers, right? Because the immersive, the hands-on, experiential will be there all the time. So you want to go run the 40-yard dash, you want to test the strength of your punch, or you want to go to the Dick's Sporting Goods booth and like practice driving. Like all of that can happen anytime. So the variables are really around like, is there a photo or an autograph that you're seeking? Is there a panel or a podcast that you really want to see and hear live? Like all of that will be on our website and you can look into it, and make sure that then you are there at the time that you want to consume that thing. But I also recognize like you've got a international audience, I'm sure. And so not everyone's going to be flying into New York to catch the show. We're going to have an insane amount of social media coverage. There's elements of the show that are essentially almost created for social media consumption, right? So, by watching our Instagram account, you'll be able to kind of see like some of the cool stuff that's happening, featuring a lot of the athletes and entertainers that are there. We're also going to be live streaming some of the panels. We're still kind of working on that. It varies based on who's on the stage and what they're comfortable with. But we will live stream some panels to our YouTube channel. And so there are ways that you can participate, even if you're not in the building. But of course, we'd love to have you there if you can make it.
Yeah, certainly excited about being there for sure. Lance, what does, kind of looking beyond just this year, what does the future look like? I know, in the past there was, I heard Fanatics Fest LA mentioned. I know there was some effort that was put towards maybe doing local or regional card shows, and then that stuff kind of got sidelined. Is it all about Fanatics Fest New York going forward, or do you think some of those other concepts may get reintroduced kind of beyond this year?
I'm answering this in a non sort of political way, but it's both. For now, I think it is absolutely focused on Fest. We've only done one of these, right? Like we want to make sure that we can fix the things that we didn't love the first time, that we can really truly build something that is exciting, embraced by fans, athletes, and brands in the hobby, and is sustainable, right? That we see a pathway that we can do this consistently with excellence. And so we're really, really focused on Fest, which is why a lot of those other ideas we set aside. Once we feel like we're comfortable and we're confident in our ability to deliver a platform like this consistently in New York, I think then we have a lot of different options. Like, where do we want to go? Do we take the same Fest concept and move it into other critical markets around the world that are, really growing in terms of sports and growing for Fanatics and growing for the hobby? Or do we say, like, let's put some smaller, more niche events into markets that we think are overlooked? I think there's a world of opportunities and ideas. For us, it's about focus on the fan, deliver for the fan. If we do that and do it really well in a couple of weeks, I think it becomes our choices open up infinitely of what we can do and where we can go. But it's always going to be based on what the fans, the community, the hobby, fanatics want and need, and that's how we'll make our choices.
Okay. And looking forward to, next summer, I assume the New York event, will be one that's kind of a staple that continues, the New York Fanatics Fest. Do you think timing wise, are we going to continue to look at June as kind of the time for the event going forward, or is that still variable and kind of TBD?
Let's call it summer, and let's call it early summer. We
Okay.
we prefer to not go back to August. And bear in mind, quite boring, but we have to have a building, and there's only one in New York City that can accommodate an event of our ambition, and therefore we're a bit at the whim of the calendar of the Javits Center, which is a very, very busy venue. So it's not solely like what we want. So that caveat aside, August, we run into the same problem we had getting current NFL players. So we prefer to not be in August. June, we feel good about. July, we also feel good about. But it's also important to us that we steer clear of the national. It's an unbelievable event. We have been very deliberate in assuring we are building a different show for a different audience. We respect the hell out of that event and the people that run it, and don't want to get in their way at all. So we've got kind of a narrow window of probably call it 6 weeks from June to kind of middle July that we feel good about. And we'll then work with the venue to find the spot that's best for us and best for the fans and the community.
Awesome. Well, we certainly look forward to that in the future, but I'm excited about next week.
Me
Lance,
too.
what are you personally looking forward to most
Yeah.
about next week's show?
Okay. There's two things. One is I just want it to be smooth, right? I want people to be able to enjoy and celebrate what they love with zero friction, right? No problems, no schedule changes, no crowds, no delays. Just get to what you enjoy. That's the most important thing. And related to that, like I consume very little of the content. What I'm trying to solely focus on is the enjoyment of the fans. And so, like, I really, really love it when I see happy fans getting to do the things they love. And I know that sounds like slightly cheesy, but it's what I. It's what drives me. It's why we do this. And this entire team that we've built is focused on that. So seeing people have fun is what makes the entire year of effort, and the weekend of no sleep worth it. So that's what I'm focused on. And then there's one specific brand that's going to be there that we haven't announced yet. I think we're announcing it this week that I'm pretty excited about. So just know when we make an announcement this week, it's like that's the brand that I'm excited about. I'm a collector of my own, and when they're there, I'll be excited. So.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Well, we're certainly excited. We'll stay tuned for that breaking news as it trickles out this week for sure. But Lance, anyone who wants to make that trip and go get tickets, go get accommodations, get themselves to Fanatics Fest in New York City next week, how do they do that?
Hit the website, fanaticsfest.com, and you can get your tickets there. We've got some housing lists. If you need anything, just call me. I can be a travel agent. I'll book you flights and hotels and get you an Uber. We're full service here. So truly, though, it's going to be a fun weekend. And we appreciate all your support. And also, candidly, your feedback that's been, good, bad, and otherwise. We know we can count on you and the entire kind of hobby community to tell us like it is. And that means a lot to us because we are here to serve you guys. And so we hope we've built an event that is fun for everyone and that you'll be proud of and will be good for your business and your love of the hobby.
Well, we certainly appreciate it, Lance. I'm certainly looking forward to being there, and I will see you at Fanatics Fest next week.
Next week. All right, let's go.
Thank you for joining the show. Take care, Lance.
Thanks.
All right, guys, are you going to be at Fanatics Fest? If you are, let me know in the comments, and I look forward to meeting you there. I will be there all weekend along with our Cards HQ team and some members of our Sports Card Investor team as well. So I look forward to seeing you there. Don't forget, these full-length episodes of The Geoff Wilson Show are available on YouTube on The Geoff Wilson Show channel, and they're available on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. So make sure you are subscribed everywhere. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon with the next one. Take care.